Hi everybody, I'm Katie Carmichael and today I'm going to be doing my global change PSA on coastal oil spills. So what are oil spills and what causes them? So according to Britannica.com, an oil spill is a leakage of petroleum onto the surface of a large body of water, as most of you probably already know. Some potential causes of oil spills include pipeline breaking, drilling operations going awry, which we'll get into a little bit later, oil tanker ships sinking, which we'll also get into later, or it could just be something as simple as a leak while refueling ships. And oil spills can occur anywhere where oil is drilled, transported, or used. So that's most large bodies of water. So why are oil spills bad? The main thing is that they harm sea creatures. We've probably seen images like the one on the right where a bird is covered in oil. They're always really sad. So what happens is the oil will coat a bird's wings, which inhibits the bird's feathers waterproofing ability and also insulation. So this means they are unable to fly. It can decrease their buoyancy, so they can actually start to sink. And the lack of insulation can cause hypothermia. Which is also similar. For sea otters, their fur is also insulating. So when the oil gets on them, it takes away those properties and can cause hypothermia. Also in fish, reproductive problems and genetic abnormalities can result from oil spills if the oil is ingested. And if fish ingest the oil and they're then like harvested for humans to eat, it would make that seafood inedible. And also oil spills destroy habitats. It's all on the surface of the water and they can't live like that. There's also oil toxicity. Oil is toxic when ingested, as I said before, and it can cause heart damage, immune system effects, and even death. Next, we're going to talk about a couple of large and important oil spills in the US. The first one is the Exxon Valdez oil spill. It occurred on March 24th, 1989 in Prince William Sound in Alaska. There, the oil tanker Exxon Valdez ran aground, basically means the bottom of the tanker hit the seafloor, and that caused 11 million gallons of oil to spill into the surrounding water. This caused the deaths of almost around 250,000 seabirds, 2,800 sea otters, 300 harbor seals, 250 bald eagles, and about 22 killer whales, along with billions of salmon and herring eggs. So this was, it was pretty large, and it did spur the Oil Protection Act, I believe, to be passed. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And the next one is the Deepwater Horizon oil spill that occurred on April 20th, 2010 in the Gulf of Mexico. The they were drilling for oil in the Gulf of Mexico, and on the Deepwater Horizon drilling platform, there was an explosion and it actually killed 11 people. And from the explosion, 134 million gallons of oil leaked into the Gulf of Mexico. So a very large amount. It's the largest offshore oil spill in US history to date. And it negatively affected so many sea creatures, fish, shellfish, marine mammals, turtles, birds, all of them. More than 50,000 birds died, more than 5,000 turtles died, 50,000 to 150,000 turtle eggs were damaged and caused the turtle babies to die. And BP, which was the operator of the drilling platform, had to pay billions of dollars in natural resource damages, and also including a penalty for violating the Clean Water Act. Here's a map. The big red dot represents the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. As you can see, it's very big. And the size of the dot is how many millions of gallons were spilled. And up here in the top left is the Exxon Valdez oil spill in Alaska. And as you can see, a good amount of oil spills have occurred in and around the US. A good few have occurred in the Gulf of Mexico. Good size one over in Hawaii, one down here in Mexico. So yeah, it's they're not uncommon, unfortunately. And this map is from NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. So how do we prevent oil spills? A main goal, I would think, is to hold oil companies responsible. Like I said earlier, it's actually called the Oil Pollution Act of 1990. It holds those responsible, those who are responsible for the oil spills will pay an amount in damages based on a National Resource Damage Assessment, or an NRDA. And like I said before, that act was kind of spurred into being passed by the Exxon Valdez oil spill the year prior. Could also take extra safety precautions. Also in the Oil Pollution Act, it requires oil tankers to be double-hulled for extra protection. So the same thing that happened at Exxon Valdez doesn't occur again. And also using sonar to be aware of the depth of the surrounding waters would be a smart thing to do. And also, you could just not drill for oil in the middle of the ocean. There are certain risks to be expected when doing so, and obviously spilling millions of gallons of oil into oceans or gulfs is to be expected. So yeah, that's the end of my PSA. Thank you for watching.